In a quiet and peaceful village surrounded by green fields and tall trees, people lived simple but happy lives. Everyone knew each other, and every sunrise brought warm light to the little houses made of clay and wood. Describe a small village or simple place at. The center of this small village stood an old well where children laughed and women gathered to talk. Birds sang softly every morning, and the smell of fresh bread often filled the air. Life was slow, gentle, and calm. Introduced the main character. In this village lived an old woman named Myra. She had silver hair, soft eyes, and a warm smile that made people feel safe. She lived alone in a tiny house, and though she helped everyone, she often felt she was not important anymore. Used soft and warm language one evening. When the sky turned orange and the wind carried the sweet scent of jasmine, Myra sat outside her home. She sighed softly, wondering if her life had any meaning now. Just then, a little girl named Neela came running to her. "Grandma Myra, can you help me fix my broken toy?" she asked with hopeful eyes. Myra's hands were old but gentle. She patiently repaired the toy and gave it back with a loving smile. Nyla hugged her tightly and said, "You always make everything better." Myra's heart warmed. At that moment, she understood something beautiful. Even the smallest act of kindness can touch someone's life. One cold morning, another villager named Ryu sat quietly near the old well. His shoulders were low and his eyes looked tired. He was a young farmer, but his crops had not grown well that season. Ryu felt sad and worried. He kept thinking, what if I fail? What if I cannot take care of my family? His hands trembled a little as he held his head. The weight of his fears felt too heavy for his heart. The whole village was peaceful, but inside Ryu there was a storm of worry. He felt alone, even with many people around him. Myra saw Ryu sitting alone, his eyes filled with worry. She walked to him slowly and sat beside him. Her voice was soft, like a warm blanket on a cold day. "Ryu," she said gently, "your heart is too heavy. Tell me what troubles you." Ryu looked down. "My crops failed," he whispered. "I feel like I am not good enough. I am scared I will disappoint everyone." Myra touched his hand kindly. "Let me tell you a small story," she began. "A small story inside the story many years ago. There was a little bird," Myra said. One day, a strong wind broke the bird's nest. The bird cried because it thought it had lost everything, but the next morning, the bird tried again. It picked up tiny sticks, one by one, and slowly built a new nest. The new nest was stronger than the old one. The bird learned something important. Sometimes things break so we can make them better. Myra smiled softly at Ryu. "Your crops may fail once," she said, "but that does not mean you have failed. Just like the little bird, you can try again. Your worth is not lost. It is still inside you." Ryu felt his heart grow lighter. Myra's warm words gave him hope again. Ryu sat quietly for a moment, holding Myra's words in his heart. Slowly he lifted his head. The fear in his eyes became a little softer. He took a deep breath and said, "Maybe I can try again? Just like the little bird?" His voice was still unsure, but there was a small spark of hope in it. The next morning, Ryu woke up early. Instead of sitting with worry, he walked to his field with new thoughts. He touched the soil gently and said to himself, "I will not give up. I will learn. I will try again." He began cleaning his field, pulling out old weeds and checking the plants with care. Every small step made him feel a little stronger. For the first time in many days, Ryu smiled. He was not fully free from worry, but he was choosing hope over fear. And that small change made his heart feel much lighter. Weeks passed gently, and the village moved from cold mornings to warm, sunny days. Ryu worked with patience and a softer heart. Every day he watered the soil, cared for the plants, and whispered small words of hope to himself. Slowly, little green shoots began to rise from the ground. At first they were tiny, just small dots of life. But they kept growing, taller and stronger. Just like Ryu's courage, one bright morning, Ryu stood in his field and felt his eyes fill with happy tears. His crops were healthy again, dancing lightly in the wind. The field looked alive, full of promise and new beginnings. Myra walked by and smiled at him. "You see, Ryu," she said softly, "good things take time. but they always come when we don't give up. Ryu nodded with a warm, grateful heart. Hope had returned to his life, stronger than before. And he understood something beautiful. When we believe in ourselves, even a little life begins to bloom again. Never forget your worth. A kind heart, a hopeful mind, and the courage to try again can turn any dark moment into light. Believe in yourself, and beautiful things will grow in your life.